Hello, this is my seminar presentation about my classroom-based proposal, research proposal. The topic of my classroom-based research proposal is classroom environment. Well, there are a number of factors that influence or create a classroom environment, such as lighting, the order of the chairs and tables, the physical setting of a classroom. But I put the primary focus on teachers' attitudes and in two factors that you will see later in my research question. Well, I chose this topic of classroom environment due to my context. I intend to conduct this research in Colegio Bahía Darwin in La Granja. It's a vulnerable place. Sorry, and the the context is very traditional. For example, I have observed that students get easily bored, distracted because of the methodologies, teaching practices inside the classroom, and also how they struggle with authority figures. For example, they behave. The grade that I will conduct the research is a ninth grade, and the way that the ninth grade behave with the principal of the school and the way that they behave with the teacher of English is very different. They are very organized and they pay attention, sorry, with the principal, and with the teacher they don't do anything. So I decided to um, do my research based on classroom environment because I found it very interesting how classroom environment influence a student's process of learning. In terms of the design of my research question, first of all, I decided to design a research question something like this. For example, in what ways classroom environment can influence a student's process of learning? But I realized that it was too broad, so I decided to put my focus on two topics. The first one, teacher's personality, and the second one, teacher student relationship, and how those aspects, those two aspects, can influence a student's process of learning. So the research question, the final research question is in what ways teacher's personality and teacher-student relationship can affect a student's process of learning. The literature that influenced my thinking in this classroom-based research proposal um, are, are a number of studies and books about classroom environment in general. For example, um, some titles are Towards a Better English Classroom, Implementing Effective Classroom Management. One is focused on classroom management. Another is about the the design of the classroom, how that maximize a student achievement. But the most important literature that is I found it very useful for this project is, for example, the one that is called Relationship between Teachers' Personality Monitoring and Learning Environment and Students' EFL Performance, and Simple Ways to Increase the Student Talk in Your Classroom, that talks about how you as a teacher can foster intrinsic motivation. In the annotated bibliography, I could include 8, and now I found like 3 different ones that are very useful for this research in terms of classroom environment. Sorry. I decided to use three data collection methods in order to gather information about classroom environment and its influence. The first one is an interview that I intend to conduct with the teacher of English in order to gather information about how about her feelings, her thoughts and her methodologies, her teaching practices, and how she thinks that her personality and her practices influence on a student's process of learning. The second data collection method that I intend to implement in this classroom based research is to have a focus group in the ninth grade. I want to choose this group in order to gather experiences, to collect experiences that are related to their feelings, their thoughts about teachers' personality and its influence, how they feel with their teaching practices, and how they think the classroom environment in general can affect or it affects indeed their process of learning. And the third and last data collection is a paper based survey that I intend to implement too, um, focusing on specific questions for the whole group, for the whole grade, and about what they think and they feel about their relationship with the teacher, with me, and how my personality as a teacher can influence their learning process, and also the teacher's personality, the other teacher of English. That was my seminar presentation about my classroom based research about classroom environment, and thank you very much. Goodbye.